make sure it's a working studio. So.
So what do you think makes artists like John Mayer and Wu-Tang Clan, like bigger names that have come and recorded here, what do you think like draws them in?
Well, I think it's the history and the fact that we haven't changed anything. Because, I mean, those guys, they can record in any studio in the world that they want to. And, I mean, all the modern studios are like, you know, it's like the same stuff. You know what I mean? There's a few that have, you know, track record and stuff that people like, but mainly it's because of the history. You know, and it's funny, people probably think, well, if, you know, if magic was made there once, it can be made there again. And most of the recording studio, most of the modern studios you go in, they, you know, they don't really have aura, I guess, about a vibe. You know, you have to kind of take your vibe with you. And when people come to Royal, because we haven't changed anything, just it's the vibe is in the air. When you walk in, you can just kind of like feel. You know, I don't know what it is. You feel something though when you walk in, and it, you know, inspires people. So normally when you know, people come, they get inspired, and then the word, you know, the word gets out. And
do you think that kind of vibe like spreads for all of Memphis? Like kind of like the appeal of it is more in the history?
I think, yeah, Memphis as a city definitely has its, you know, definitely has a vibe and something going on here. It's in the water, it's in the air, it's something. And, you know, it draws people in. So, yeah, the city draws them, and then when they come to the studio, you know, it's like confirmation.
So when thinking about trying to, you know, pull more artists back into Memphis or to get artists to stay in Memphis, how do you think Memphis can do that as a city to encourage people to come back and to stay and keep making music?
I don't know, lower the airline tickets. There's that. But, you know, I think in the past 10 years, the leaders and elected officials and the city as a whole is, you know, starting to embrace, you know, our rich musical heritage more. And it's going to take, you know, it's got to be a it's got to be a team effort and a group effort, you know, with the city and the county and the, you know, and the musicians and the club owners. You know, everybody kind of has to get on the same page that, you know, this is our, you know, no offense to Fred Smith, but this is our number one commodity, and this is why people come here. This, you know, this city is responsible for all of the popular music in the world, in my opinion. You know, because yeah, things may have been developed in other places like the blues and jazz and all this stuff, but nothing became global until it got to Memphis. You know, Memphis put these things out into the world, you know, rock and roll, soul, blues. It's something about the city that all of those artists were drawn to, you know, and so it's, you know, as a city we gotta, you know, we gotta kind of, well, we've been doing good. The past 10 years has been great. We have, you know, more landmarks. They're renaming streets, you know. I mean, there should be a, you know, the, you know, Isaac Hayes Road, you know, because for the longest we couldn't really see past Elvis, and Elvis is awesome, but it's so much more going on here besides that, you know, and we just have to learn how to embrace all of the musical heritage that we got.
So you do think there's like a light at the end of the tunnel? Like you think it's
Yeah,
just the beginning?
I think it's just the beginning, and I think people are kind of waiting. Oh, I didn't know Aretha Franklin was born here. Really, you know? Yeah. So it's just, you know, us knowing our history and embracing it, because, you know,